in this Lawyer Reacts, I give you my personal take on Elle Woods becoming legally blonde, including my own experience going to law school. Here she comes. So clearly, Elle Woods has put out a lot of effort and she has big expectations about how this night is going to go. Obviously, all her friends are there waiting, being supportive. She seems like she has such nice friends, right? So the legal question that we're going to start with for this Lawyer Reacts, is Warner Huntington III a giant douchebag for the lead up that was kind of unnecessary to really what's going to be a breakup?
Strange having such perfect eyes.
Is it just me? Look how romantic this restaurant is. Hello. I mean, this looks kind of like a bougie place.
Here's to us.
To us.
All right, so here he goes on to say, look, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is the future of our relationship. And then he goes on to say, basically, I'm trying to, I'm going to Harvard Law School. I want to become a senator by the time I'm 30. I'm pretty sure you have to be 30 minimum to be a senator, so he's kind of a dumb. But in any case, he's leading up to this thing where he then eventually drops the giant bomb that he wants to break up with her.
One of the reasons I wanted to come here tonight was to discuss our future. I think we should break up.
What?
Well, I've been thinking about it, and I think it's the right thing to do.
I thought you were proposing.
Proposing? Elle, if I'm gonna be a senator, well, I need to marry a Jackie, not a Marilyn.
So you're breaking up with me because I'm too blonde?
No.
I think the blonde is fantastic. I might need to make a permanent change, just saying.
That's not entirely true.
Then what? My boobs are too big?
That could be a problem.
Your boobs are
for
fine.
some men.
So when you said that you would always love me, you were just sticking around?
Well, I do love you.
All right, so back to the question of, is Warner Huntington III a giant douche for this? Obviously, kind of getting her hopes up. Or is the fact that he actually put out a lot of effort, maybe by taking her to a restaurant, picking her up, the whole 9 yards, does that help at all? I don't know. Leave a comment down below. Now, on a more serious note, I will say that to his sentiment of I need to be serious in order to hit all my goals and reach my dreams and this and that, it kind of feels like he's using it as an excuse, but he's absolutely correct in that you really need to double down on what you want to do, have your goals the first priority, and law school is no joke, as I will talk about and actually share throughout this video, but we'll get into that.
Do you know who this is? No. That's Warner's older brother. Who?
I like the older lady here. She seems very interesting. What? Who?
Student Putnam Bowes Huntington III and his fiancée, Lane Walker Vanderbilt. First year, Yale Law.
So this is Elle Woods' big revelation. She's been down in the dumps because who wouldn't after a big breakup? But this is going to be her big revelation moment.
This is the type of girl that Warner wants to marry. This is what I need to become to be serious. A law student.
All right, so the one thing we do know about Elle Woods is that she sets her mind to something and she's going to accomplish it. I really love this because this is something we all need a little of.
Law school?
It's a perfectly respectable place, Daddy.
Honey, you were first runner-up at the Miss Hawaiian Tropics contest. Why are you going to throw that all away?
Going to Harvard is the only way I'm going to get the love of my life back.
There's a couple of things happening here. Number one, her parents are clearly devaluing going to law school or becoming a lawyer. They seem to be wealthy and they're just saying, look, you're hot, you're cute, just rely on that. Essentially, nothing wrong with that, right? Maybe she's a model, but even in that, you can become an entrepreneur and become a billionaire entrepreneur model. I digress. So that's number one. The second part is that her parents are trying to dissuade her from something she just wants to do, which I'm just so not into. And I find that all the time in the entertainment industry from well-intentioned families who will just say, don't do it, you're gonna be broke, you're gonna be homeless, you aren't good enough, and they just try to talk you out of your dreams instead of being supportive.
Harvard Law School?
That's right.
But that's a top 3 school.
Oh, I have a 4.0.
Yes.
That's good.
Your major is fashion merchandising.
that actually doesn't matter. So obviously this advisor of sorts is letting her know that's going to negatively impact her chances on getting into law school. It doesn't matter what you major in, as long as obviously you get through the first couple of steps in order to then apply for law school.
What are your backups?
I don't need backups. I'm going to Harvard.
Well then,
I like her spirit. I don't need backups. I'm going to Harvard. That's right.
you'll need excellent recommendations from your professors
Okay.
and a heck of an admissions essay and at least a 175 on your LSATs.
All right, so when it comes to the letters of recommendation, your personal essay, your personal statement, obviously these are really important and you want to set yourself apart. So actually the fact that Elle Woods is kind of an oddity is, in my opinion, a really good thing. And that's kind of what I decided for myself from way back when, that anything that was odd about me would be the thing that I kind of highlighted whenever I had an opportunity, because it actually is a really good thing to stand out from the crowd. So in regards to the LSAT test, you can score between a 120 up to a 180. In this case, obviously it has to be a very high score because she is trying to get into Harvard.
What are you doing? Reading about the LSATs. I'm going to Harvard Law School. Why?
So the progression here of her, even her friends are kind of questioning her, right? Because I didn't take that as a good thing, right? Why? But then they change their tune a little bit and they become supportive, which is what you just need to do. Regardless of what your friends and your family decide they want to do, life is short. Just support them.
Oh, here. You're gonna need this. Your scrunchie? My lucky scrunchie. It helped me pass Spanish.
You passed Spanish because you gave Professor Montoya a lap dance after the final.
Yeah.
Luckily. Yeah, ladies, no.
Oh, hi. My name is Elle Woods, and for my admissions essay, I'm going to tell all of you at Harvard why I'm going to make an amazing lawyer.
Just so you guys know, typically there aren't going to be videos that are submitted with your application to law school.
A. Neither type of opera or neither type of rap is on sale. B. Neither type of jazz and neither type of opera is on sale. C. Neither
This is actually pretty accurate. When you have multiple choice, there are lots of hypotheticals, and you'll go through, similar like any other exam, A, B, C, or D, none of the above.
Get set and go!
This is another really good example. You want to take tests in distracting environments. So for me, when I was studying, not just for the LSAT, but then I was actually studying for the bar exam later on, you take the tests over and over and over in your practice, and you do it when there's noise. You don't just do it in a little quiet setup at the library or at home, because that's not the environment that you are going to be in when it comes to actually taking the test. Trust me.
I feel comfortable using legal jargon in everyday life. I object.
So 179, that is an incredible score. And it just goes to the whole point of you can study for the exam, you can master the exam, which is what law school is all about. It's not necessarily going to prep you for the real world of being a lawyer, but being able to teach yourself and learn how to master that test is kind of the first skill that you learn in how to become an attorney. And I will say, when it comes to actually taking the exam, for me, my experience was we were in a convention center and there were hundreds of us. It is noisy. There is sheer panic running through the room at all times. And it's overall a pretty intense thing to go through. Now, I'm referring mostly to the bar exam. For LSAT exams, those are usually going to be a little bit smaller, but obviously it varies from state to state.
And that's why you should vote for me, Elle Woods, future lawyer for the class of 2004.
I don't know if they're trying to make the point here that these are just a bunch of older, horny men who are now staring at her in her bikini, or they're shocked, right? Because, you know, she's just so odd and unusual for what they commonly see.
She does have a 4.0 from CULA, and she got a 179 on her LSATs.
Making her an incredibly strong candidate compared to anyone else who applied.
Fashion major?
Well, sir, we've never had one before, and aren't we always looking for diversity?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like discrimination. This isn't a new thing, right? So every major has an opportunity to go on, obviously as long as it's through an accredited school, and you can apply for law school. So the fact that they kind of gave the whole tongue-in-cheek fashion major, I don't like that.
The list of extracurricular activities is impressive.
She was in a Ricky Martin video.
Clearly, she's interested in music.
Now, obviously, they're trying to make a point that these men are trivializing and minimalizing, her accomplishments and what she's done. She's been in a music video. But I don't know, have you ever heard of a fashion brand or designer who became a billionaire because they went to fashion school and developed their dreams and goals?
Are you excited?
Brad, check out Malibu Barbie. Where's the beach, honey?
Yeah, first of all, that guy doesn't want to get laid. Second of all, I think when I'm looking at this, I don't think Elle Woods is dumb, right? Her hearing works just fine. And I feel like she just kind of allows stupidity and negativity to kind of flow through her, which is really fabulous.
Class schedule, map, book list.
Wait a second, my social events calendar's missing.
Your what?
Social events, mixers, formals, clam bakes, trips to the Cape.
So there's not going to be a ton of socializing during law school, particularly during the first year or two, which are incredibly stressful and time-consuming. And then some law students will even try working at the same time, which is just crazy. Sometimes there might be bar review, which would be, like a weekly get-together at the bar. Get it? The bar review. And you're not actually doing anything or working, you're just drinking. And that seemed to be the case for a lot of law students that I went to school with. They were either working and studying or drinking. And there was one in particular who would show up to class at 9 and then he'd go take a break at 10 and go get a shot somewhere. So I think that it's a really good opportunity to develop bad habits when you are under really, really stressful conditions, which is what happens in law school.
The seat you have picked will be yours for the next 9 months of your life. And those of you in the front row, beware.
She's not kidding. I sat in the front row of every single class for my first 2 years of law school because it's supposed to, help you to focus and be that top student. But that means you get called on more than anyone else in the back of the room, for sure.
Now, I assume all of you have read pages 1 through 48 and are now well-versed in subject matter jurisdiction. Who can tell us about Gordon versus Steele? Let's call on someone from the hot zone.
Professors do like to pick on particular people. Again, from personal experience.
Elle Woods.
Oh, actually, I wasn't aware that we had an assignment.
Oh.
So Elle Woods admitting that she basically wasn't prepared for class. She wasn't aware of the assignment. It does look like she might be the only one or one of the few that wasn't aware. So not good because the professor will always make an example of you, particularly if it's day one. They need to sharpen their teeth and set the bar for the class.
Vivian Kensington, do you think it's acceptable that Ms. Woods is not prepared?
No. I don't.
Would you support my decision to ask her to leave class and to return only when she is prepared?
Absolutely.
And Vivian's not necessarily wrong. Maybe Elle Woods should have been prepared. Maybe she forgot to check something. But obviously there's a whole other layer of vindictiveness that is going along with this. So, safe to say, day one for Elle Woods has been a little rough, but that's very normal, and expect many bad first days for basically the first year of law school. All right, so Vivian showed up. Turns out she's dating Warner, right? So Elle already has a nemesis in law school. Turns out she's dating the love of Elle's life, and Elle's pretty upset. So we all know you probably shouldn't drive when you're upset, and what's about to happen is the reason why. Alright, so she sees a nail and hair salon, she whips around, it sounds like she does a U-turn, but then we hear crashing, glass breaking, and at least one woman saying, you know, like kind of crying out. Okay, so it sounds like from the drastic turn that Elle made, it ended up causing a car wreck. And then if you look behind her in the shot, you can actually see what looks to be like a car has gone into the other car. It's a big deal, not just because obviously someone could have been injured or was injured, but police show up. They saw the blonde who just caused the accident go into the salon. The police are gonna come and arrest her, or, you know, outside of the film, they likely would have. That also matters because once you graduate law school, in order to get your license, you not only need to pass the bar, but you need to also pass character and fitness, and they rip apart your history. They want to know every parking ticket, every little thing that you've done, and I've had people with some minor infractions not get their law degrees because of these things that were on the record. So this is not good for someone who just started law school. Now we have a law school party, and Vivian tells Elle it's a costume party, so Elle shows up looking fantastic, but comes to find it's in fact not a costume party.
The winter vest.
Excuse me. Hey, Warner.
Wow. Well, don't you look like a walking felony?
Now the great thing is that Elle decides to just own it, again, showing just kind of her overall resiliency, right? Someone clearly did something mean. Obviously, it could be very embarrassing for her, but she decides to absolutely own it, and I love that.
Thank you. You're so sweet. Oh. Are you having fun?
I am now. What's with the costume?
Oh, I just decided to dress up.
Really?
You know, I feel like we barely get to see each other since we've been here.
Oh,
Are his hands on her hips right there? Like his arms kind of look like he reached out and his hands just went all over her hips.
Come on, you're never gonna get the grades to qualify for one of those spots. You're not smart enough, sweetie.
Once again, we have someone that she actually does really care about, and I'm assuming she cares about his opinion. And once again, she has someone who is trying to make her feel small and inadequate. And maybe he actually believes it. He really believes that she is a dumb girl and she doesn't deserve to be there. Now, there's a whole lot of psychological unpacking that needs to be done on anyone who's going to say something negative to another human being and to discourage them. But in any case, once again, I love what Elle Woods decides to do with this information.
Wait, am I on glue, or did we not get into the same law school, Warner?
Well, yeah, but...
But what? We took the same LSATs, and...
You tell him.
We're taking the same classes.
I know, but come on, Elle, be serious.
And she's even being nice
do
about
something
it.
more valuable with your time.
I'm never gonna be good enough for you, am I? I'll show you how valuable Elle Woods can be.
All right, so cue overlays. She's buying the computer. She's working really hard. She's now really focusing now on herself, which should have been how it was in the beginning, but obviously she needed to go through, learn a lesson, figure out that, you know, he wasn't the guy after all. And even if it's just out of your own anger, channel it. If you're gonna channel your negative emotions into something incredibly positive, like going and getting yourself a law degree, hey, not too bad. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this lawyer reacts, please be sure to like, subscribe, do all the things, and I will definitely have more lawyer reacts videos for you very soon. Don't forget to come say hi on social media. I'm definitely the most active on Instagram, and it's always amazing to meet you guys. And if you're in the mood for some dark pop music, just search Miss Krystle on all music platforms and you can check out a little of what I'm up to. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm top music attorney, Miss Krystle. Bye guys.